Chrome Chronicles is back, baby. It's been over a year. The last one was January 26th, 2020. As of now recording this, it is January 9th, 2022. And we're just now doing a part 2. If you haven't seen the first one, I highly recommend checking that out. It's got a lot of stuff that you need to know in order to edit / record / script whatever you want to do on the Chromebook to do with making videos. But without further ado, let's get into Chrome Chronicles Part 2. First things first, one of the most important skills that I've learned is how to find free assets for my videos that look / sound good. One of the more useful ones, but you have to be careful with, is taking YouTube videos off of YouTube. Now obviously you don't want to use this for straight up ripping and re-uploading things, but if you plan to use it in fair use, you can 100% download YouTube videos or an MP3 file of the audio from a YouTube video. Let's say if you wanted to use a video game song as background music. That's 100% okay. Or downloading anything marked as copyright free / royalty free should be completely fine. Now you run into some gray areas with, stuff that you can or cannot put in your video, such as if there's a song by one of your favorite artists, it's probably gonna get copyright claimed, so you might not want to do that. However, with video game music, especially from companies like Nintendo, or copyright-free music specifically meant for public use, I haven't ran into any problems with. So I guess the lesson here is use things at your own risk. You never know what might get copyright claimed on YouTube. But luckily for you, there's a lot of free-to-use stuff on there, such as all of these green screen clips for little effects and stuff you might want to put in your videos. Also, fun fact, all of my music is free to use as background music in your videos, though I would appreciate you putting a link to my channel in the description. I'd say as a rule of thumb, whenever you're in doubt about whether you can use something, just ask for permission from the creator. But all of this permission hunting and fighting against the YouTube copyright algorithms may start to get annoying and take time away from actually creating things. That's where the public domain comes in. And to explain the public domain, here's an expert, none other than the host of the public domain train. Hey you. You gotta tell us what the public domain is.
Public domain?
This is the public domain train, yeah.
Yeah? Who are you?
It doesn't matter. I got a camera crew.
Okay. Public domain.
We'll give you a bagel.
Oh, sounds good. I'll tell you all about the public domain. You see, the public domain is the place where content goes when people no longer have a claim to it. People can give away the rights to use their content, or a million years, it'll eventually go there automatically. That is, of course, if Disney doesn't keep moving the goalpost for a certain rodent character. Most public domain stuff is pretty old, but, there's nothing stopping people from waiving their copyrights and sending things into the Creative Commons or something. I don't know. Do I look like a lawyer? Give me that bagel.
A great example of somewhere that has great assets to use for free is Pixabay. Now, I've been watching Pixabay for a little while, and it used to just be images and videos, but now they even have music and sound effects. And the quality is usually quite high because they have a limit for how low resolution of an image you can upload / video. I use this site all the time, and I even upload some stuff to it myself. I think the only thing that could make it better is if more people join and upload more high quality stuff to it. So if you have a good quality camera, it's probably a good idea to give back to the community. If you're going to be using all these free assets, might as well contribute some of your own. Some other options would be the Prelinger Archives, which is a great place to find public domain stuff for you to use. Most of it is quite old, and some of it's a little dodgy, so use your best judgment. Another thing is Creative Commons on YouTube. When you're searching anything on YouTube, you can set the category as Creative Commons. Although, once again, use your best judgment, because some things in the Creative Commons just aren't. If it looks like something that someone made by themselves, then, it's probably actually Creative Commons and free to use. If it looks like a clip from a movie, it's not. Probably not. I'll talk more about how to find assets for songs if you're a music producer in the music episode of Chrome Chronicles, so stay tuned for that. The last thing I'm going to try to teach you about how to find assets for your videos is how to search in Google Images. Now, I know everyone knows how to literally search for something in Google Images, but I'm surprised by how many people I've talked to that don't know that there's advanced options. Just click over here where it says Tools and you get all sorts of cool things to use. You can choose the size of the image you want to use, you can choose the color of the image, and what's this right here? Transparent. Now you can find PNGs without having to search through all of them to find which ones are fake PNGs and which ones are real PNGs. It's a bit easier, isn't it? Also, you can choose if you want it to be a GIF, a line drawing, clip art. You can choose how long ago it was posted. You can even choose usage rights, so you can put it in Creative Commons licenses. However, once again, please use your best judgment. Sometimes people upload things as Creative Commons when they are not. So if it looks like a copyrighted image, don't use it. Or do. If it's a YouTube video, I mean, you don't really get claimed for copyrighted images. It's more copyrighted videos and stuff. But don't use it as like your logo or anything. Don't use it on merch. Anything that you can't do yourself, you can probably find someone on Fiverr to do if you have a little bit of extra cash. You know, stuff to doing with advanced video editing, animation, music, stuff like that. That's pretty much all I'm going to say about stuff that you need to pay for, since I want this series to be as accessible as possible to people who may not have a lot of money. After all, the whole point is to work with what you have. Do not fret though, we do have some great free options for photo editing, animation, and sound editing. In the realm of animation, we have Pascal, which is actually a pixel art animation tool online, and is remarkably polished. I highly recommend you use this if you want to add a little bit of pixel art flair to your videos. Now, another interesting thing is, back in the day, I would use this site called Pixlr, and my, how it's grown. It's got so many more tools, and it's way more polished and way less glitchy than it was when I was using it. It's basically the closest thing that you can get to Photoshop within a browser, which is pretty dang cool if you ask me. Hell, if you don't mind it being frame by frame and very traditional animation, you can animate things in Pixlr. In fact, that's what I did back in the day. But now you have so many more tools for transforming and warping images that you can do some cool things. That's one thing that I really like about the internet, is I can look at something that looks really glitchy and really messed up and come back to it years later, and it's this really nice polished thing, and it's still free. Who would have thought? But hey, if that's not your speed, if you want to try something a little bit simpler, maybe for thumbnails, you don't need all these crazy transforming tools and extra stuff. You just want to make a quick thumbnail out of some PNGs. Go to Canva. Canva's pretty good for that. No watermark, exports at the highest quality, all that good stuff. Has plenty of fonts and stuff that you can use. And it even has some cool effects that you can add to the text or image. Well, that's pretty much all I have to say for this episode. Make sure to check out part 1 if you want to, see some of the stuff that I didn't talk about in this episode. Also, stay tuned, I might do even more. I think the next one will be about music and audio editing, kind of in depth. Remember to be patient and always work with the stuff that you have. You'll be surprised with how far you can get with only the tools that you have at your disposal at the moment. Don't wait till you have the money to buy a grand spanking new computer. When you have the money, it's great to invest it in better equipment and better software, but if you start creating before you have that stuff, you'll be even more creative and you'll have even more experience before you even get started with the new stuff. Once again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. Adios.